Friday. Friday. I'm in a good mood, y'all, because let me see if I could bring myself down just a little bit. But I'm in a great mood. Today we are talking Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the newest episode that just dropped. It's incredible. We have so very much to talk about, and I can't wait for us to dissect it. But man, it was deep. It was deep for sure. It's definitely, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like when Falcon and the Winter Soldier first dropped, I wasn't ready to like it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I thought it'd be okay. I thought it'd be this like 80s, like budding cop, like, like with Eddie Murphy type like thing. And it's blossoming into something that I really enjoy. And this episode, I don't know. I think I may have enjoyed episode 4 a little bit more than this episode, and only because of that little, like, the Louisiana kind of portion of it. But yeah, we really got to talk. We really got to talk. So I see a couple people in here. James, Courtney. Yeah, man, Courtney, we got to talk. I've been crazy busy. But yeah, y'all, as you fill in, we going to get started. Welcome to Fighting Words. I am Fantastic Frankie. Today we are discussing Falcon and the Winter Soldier, mostly episode 5. But I guess the show overall and just some thoughts I have on it, some questions I have for you guys. So I really need you guys to really be in this chat box and engage with me and talk to me about some of these things, because I have some really big questions. I really do. As always, I want you guys to remember this is spoiler, okay? Spoiler report. You hear? So yes, there are major spoilers here. If you have not seen episode 5 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it is definitely 110% time for you to dip, because I'm spoiling this so bad today. I just have so many questions, and if you guys were on my Facebook page, you'll see I posted one of the biggest questions, which was honestly the theme for today: would any self-respecting black man be Captain America, choose to be Captain America? And I think that choose part is the most important question here. And it's a theme that we see throughout here, and it's something that I really want to talk with you guys today. So yes, once again, if you guys are just coming in, Fantastic Frankie, this is Fighting Words. I'm here to talk, y'all. So be sure to go up in these comments, let me know what's up. Follow me on all platforms. You know the vibes. Fantastic Frankie, FRANKEY. What's up, Stu, man? Thanks. Oh, you too. That's what I like to see. But yeah, let's get started, yo. All right. And actually, let me fix this for y'all, because y'all shouldn't have to look at this like this. Let me get this in the center. You know what I'm saying? I got y'all. Hold on. All right. The biggest thing I wanted to talk about today is I had a huge question the last time we talked about Captain America and his choice to choose Sam. And my thing is, what was the reason? What was the reason? Why would he choose this black man after living in the 30s, seeing how black men were treated, and then subsequently reliving up into present day, when he went back in the timeline? And we finally got our answer this episode. And the answer is there's no reason. He just was like, yo, Sam is my boy, and Bucky is a recovering criminal, so this is why. What up to everybody coming in, Chariot and Brittany, I see y'all. And you know what? It kind of shone a light. I'm not going to lie. Steve Rogers, particularly this version of Steve Rogers, as in the MCU Steve Rogers, I mean, he's cool, but he's not this like perfect pinnacle or like even a great decision maker that, everyone's putting him out to be. And he's sheltered, right? Because there's no way, and even Bucky mentions it later, like we could never have thought about like what the plight of a white man would be But like, really? You lived in 1930. Your dad probably was talking about how he had a slave, and you couldn't think about, you couldn't consider how that'd be changing, how that would affect America. You know what I mean? Maybe Bucky was like, oh, times, Bucky, I'll give an excuse because he's been brainwashed and he wasn't in his right mind for the last 80 years. But Steve knew what's up. He lived through it and still didn't even consider it. And it just really bothers me that they would just make such a rash decision just because it's his boy. He could have given him the shield and been like, when you think it's ready, and not put that much pressure on it. And I think that's a huge flaw in Steve's character, which I like, honestly, because it shows. And yeah, Terrence is saying you can't blame Steve for wanting Sam to have the shield. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't blame him for wanting to give his friend the shield, but I do blame him for giving him the responsibility of taking the mantle. And I think that's a huge responsibility that he didn't even ask if he wanted it. And things like that. Yo, Spinhouse, who's on Twitch, I see you said you didn't watch the episode, but you want to hear my comments. Please come back to this after you watch the episode, because you don't want to see this. You don't want to hear the spoilers I'm about to drop on y'all. I'm totally serious. But yeah, I mean, I just thought it was a huge issue that he just would just give him this responsibility without considering the repercussions, especially since he lived through a world in America where, and maybe the fight with Thanos, no, because he fought Thanos and then lived through 80 years and still was like, yo, whatever, he'll figure it out. And I really didn't like that. You know what I mean? You know, and some of it is bias. I feel like I don't like Captain America and maybe what he represents as Steve Rogers. I think Chris Evans does a great job, and I think this iteration of him is pretty cool. But I think that we put him on a pedestal that he shouldn't be on. You know, he's flawed just as much as Tony Stark. And if you guys are on my Instagram page and saw my video about, you know, how he had a hand in tearing up the Avengers, everybody was talking about Tony, and I was like, yo, the thing about Tony is that it's easy to not like him and put the blame on Tony because he's arrogant, he's rich, you know, he does these things like create Ultron, and it's so easy to put the blame on him. But Steve has done so many other things that, in my opinion, have just as big, if not worse, repercussions. And, you know, because his character, we like him better, I feel like we give him a pass, and I'm like, oh. So Prophecy on Twitch says, Steve's whole thing is doing the tough thing, also taking into account the long life and advanced age. They're super direct and about passing feelings for the greater good. And this is the thing. Steve at this point has lived 2 lives. He's 108. What we're looking at here is 180-year-old Steve. I feel like that thought of feelings and things for the greater good, and this is what I feel is right, versus like, this is how this is gonna work. He's too old to still be that emotional. You know what I'm saying? And Captain Pennsylvania on YouTube is like, let's not forget he tried to shut down the mutants, but I love him. If you talk about Tony, who created those Sentinels, but this is the thing, we talk about MCU, baby. We'll talk about comics on another episode, but not today. And that is a reminder for everyone else. Y'all, the MCU and the Marvel comic universe are 2 very different things. I'll kind of point to some things like, oh, this may be where they're going, but I need y'all to remember, as WandaVision told us, that they're 2 very different things, and we can't use them here as a reference. I really don't think that we can. All right. I wanted to put this in here, and this is Captain America punching Hitler, because I realized a lot of people are angry about how woke Captain America, I saw someone put like woke or broke, is getting with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I just wanted to say, like, yo, Captain America has since its inception been woke. And when this picture came out, this was an issue where on the cover, he was punching Hitler. America wasn't even part of World War II. And it was a huge stand for this artist to take. And people were outraged, equally as outraged as if, if there was a picture of Captain America wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt. And I really I almost forgot that. I almost forgot how political Captain America, first and foremost, is a political comic book. And I love how Marvel is going back to the origins there. You know what I mean? So I just love this picture. I think I'm not a big fan of Golden Age Marvel, the campy. And that's just me as a person. I like the dark stuff. Although there's some Captain America is one of the darker comics during this age, because it was so political and things like that. But yeah, definitely pull up and, if you guys want to start getting into comics and want to kind of go back, this is definitely where I would start. But I really wanted to go into something and make a public service announcement before we really dive into the episode. And that is, y'all, Zemo is a villain. He's a villain. I need y'all to remember that. He is a full-on villain, okay? I see people talking about, he has these cute scenes and he's charming, in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and I see people shipping for him and liking him and liking his character and trying to defend him now. But y'all, Zemo is a full-on Hydra villain, okay? He did put in the events. He was honestly the direct reason why the Avengers. He brainwashed my boy Bucky, okay? And he assaulted him. That's assault, what he did with Bulk and Falcon in the Winter Soldier. So I just feel like I needed to remind y'all that as much as we like Zemo, because the actor's incredible, the writing's incredible, and he's super charming, and his drip is fire. Look at the coat. I want y'all to remember that he is a villain, and we need to not be shipping these villains, y'all. And he deserves everything that's coming to him, because he's definitely a villain. All right? But yeah, also everybody loves Zemo. Y'all so sweet. Yeah, thank you. Red is not a flavor on YouTube, so everybody like Zemo now. Y'all so flip floppy. We be hating somebody immediately. We like, oh, I love him. I love him. Oh, and also Blackgate Comic Geek is in the house. Super honored. He said, comics period are political, but the toxic nerds don't want to realize that X-Men, Star Wars, all of that are all politics. And I'm glad that it's, of course, now way more overt. But yes, they're all seeded, and it's life is stranger than fiction. So what they're doing is they're taking real life events and they're painting them pretty. Yeah. Sonia said, I love all villains, Loki, Hela, Zemo. And as long as you call him a villain, that's all I want. Sean Graham made a note, and this is to my earlier question with Steve. Steve is a rare white person who saw the future and knows in which direction the country should take. I mean, he lived through all of the civil rights movement, and after all that, he had to get the shield. But that's what I'm saying. Was that white guilt? Did he, if he lived through all of that, he knew that at this moment, America was not ready. And pushing something prematurely is just as detrimental as doing it, later, or as not doing it at all. And in this case, I think it may be the case. All right. Now, let's talk about my boy John Walker and the murder. Okay? Sorry, y'all. I had to get a screenshot. The episode came out today. I'm trying my best. You know what I'm saying? But we hate John Walker. And I think the biggest reason why we hate John Walker is, one, because he replaced the black man, right? So obviously we're going to hate him. Two, because we like Steve so much, so we like, who is this wide-faced man taking our, the shield? And three, he's so human. And I think that's what we hate the most about him, is why is he like this? We get this innate feeling John Walker is a bad guy because he's reacting this way. But in reality, John Walker has been reacting the way most of us would react. And I know that you're saying, Captain America should be more than that. But in reality, it'd be really hard pressed. You'd be hard pressed to find an adult Captain America who is like that. Okay, let me explain. When Steve Rogers was recruited, I think he was 19? He was a 19-year-old boy with polio. He didn't know the world. He didn't live the world. And he grew up in a time where everything was, had what is that called? Tinted stained glass windows, as in like no one really knew what reality was, including himself. How could someone like that really have, I'm sorry, this is sounds of New York, but someone like that is always going to have this idealistic view and be that person who's like, I want to be better than this, I want to be that, I want to be this. And I think in that situation, this is what's happening. I'm so sorry, y'all. I live in the city, and I guess they love Justin Bieber, although this song does slap. Crazy. But yeah, basically, I feel like with John Walker, I don't know if any real soldier would have not taken that serum. He was getting washed up that whole episode, y'all. He got washed up by the Dora Milaje, and I do have to say this: when he made that comment, like they weren't even super soldiers, I was wondering what got him more upset: the fact that they were not super soldiers, the fact that they were women, or the fact that they were black women. And one thing I do want to mention there is that I love that in that episode they reminded us that everything that we see in here comes from Africa. So the Dora Milaje was ready to take up all their gear. They're like, yo, I may take this arm up because I made this, and I'm definitely going to go ahead and take this shield because this is ours. And they left it they kept their items out of the grace of them. And it was so nice to see Africans be like, I'm taking my stuff back. I'm taking my precious materials back. And I just thought that was something that no one really focused on, that I thought was fire. And the thing about that was really, really funny about them beating up Captain America was that this was not Okoye and Nakia, okay? This was I forgot and please put it in the comments. Of course the woman is a captain, but the girls that she pulled up with was some randoms. So like it wasn't even main, like Okoye was like, yo, can you go ahead? Zemo is out, can you go get them? And she was like, yo, you let's go. And you number 2 is the one who took the shield, and that had me dying. Oh, Ayo, thank you, Sean, on Facebook. Ayo, yes. So Ayo basically picked 2 girls who were probably eating a sandwich and was like, let's go get the shield. And I was like, yes. Third string. It was the second string Dora and the third string Dora who got the shield, and that has to hurt. So imagine getting beat 2 times in a row. Then your friend dies, your best friend. And I know I said I talked mostly about episode 5, but I do want to say this in that episode 4 talked about was that what's his name? Battlestar was in the same fights. He was by his side the entire time, and yet John Walker is the only one who got medals of honor. Okay, because they were reminiscing about the fight. So they both risked their lives in the same way, right? But Battlestar is being put in the back end. He's not getting the accolades that John is getting. And the reason for that is because he's black. You know what I mean? And I wonder if John is aware of that, because his wife is black, his best friend is black. I wonder if they've ever had those conversations with him. He does seem comfortable around black people because, let's be real. Wyatt Russell and, what is that? Sebastian Stan. Sebastian Stan is around nothing but black people most of the scenes, and they're both very, very comfortable, which I like. I know Sebastian Stan is like, I don't know, he's Eastern European, and and in my experience, at least in New York, Eastern Europeans are always comfortable, particularly around Africans and West Indians, because our cultures are very, very, very similar. We have, our values are the same, our work ethic are the same. The difference is, in these Eastern European cultures, they are building for the cold, they are hoarders and things like that, versus we come from abundant land, and that kind of adjusted. Oh, he's Romanian. Thanks, Sajah, on YouTube. But yes, so I knew he was Eastern European, but either way, it's just very interesting to me that, they kind of glossed over it, but Battlestar is equally as qualified to be Captain America, but they chose this white man. And I think John knows that Battlestar was more qualified to do this than he was. And I think that's what really got into his imposter syndrome and why he committed his act. I forgot who said it. Either it was Zemo or it was Einstein or whoever created the original serum, who was like, the super serum enhances who you are. Right? So it doesn't make you bad or good. If you're a good person, it makes you a better person. If you're if you're okay person, it'll make you like a more of okay person. So I think people think that John Walker is arrogant, and I think we think he's arrogant because he's white. But in reality, he's not arrogant, he's insecure. And what the super serum is doing is it's enhancing his insecurity. So the reason why he's lashing out, the reason why I've seen a meme where they're showing every time Steve Rogers introduces himself, he says, I'm Steve Rogers. But every time John Walker introduces himself, he says, I'm John Walker, Captain America. And I think that's because John Walker has to remind himself as well, I'm Captain America. You know what I mean? And even, Battlestar said it. Thank you, Michael. I'm sorry. Battlestar said that it enhances your, whoever you are. But yeah, I think that with John, he's just so insecure. And I think we just look at him as this arrogant guy, but that's a facade because of his insecurity. He's like, I'm going to show strength because that's the only thing that I know. And you got to remember, he was a soldier. He went to West Point. So he's been a soldier. If you went to West Point, that means you've been a soldier since you were at least 18, right? So, or 17, we don't know when his birthday is. So since he was a child, he's been told everything, what he should do, and he's been good at taking orders. And he's devoted his entire life to this. And, this scene was him seeing someone who he thought was better than him die. One, because he didn't have the super serum that he just took. And two, fighting by his side. And three, it was because he was inadequate. He was feeling that inadequacies all day. And I just think that that's what really led him. And also, like, he clapped my mans. Like, you clap my mans, I'm clapping you. I'm clapping your mans, whatever. Whoever's close, you getting clapped. And R.I.P. to Carlos. I think it's a tragedy that he got clapped. Especially since I think, even though they are terrorists, I think that the Flag Smashers do have something there, and I think that's why they're so dangerous. But you gotta get clapped, your man, y'all gotta move lighter, okay? Y'all gotta be ready for everything, and that's what happens. And it's funny, the minute that I saw that, I was like, cancel culture is coming in to save the day. Oh, but before I even get into cancel culture, this is a question I want y'all to go into the chats. Does wanting to take this the super soldier serum make you less of a hero, right? Because does it make it? Does it? This is the question. If you guys watch anime, Jujutsu Kaisen is a great anime that just came out. It's basically Naruto, but they kind of fix the things that are like problematic about Naruto. And in it, the main character takes something that makes him basically superhuman, right? And he's a hero for it. And in this show, they're trying to say people not wanting to take the serum is what makes them more of a hero. But honestly, I don't think so, right? Why would you not want to do If you're like, I want to be a protector, why would you not want every asset available? Why would you not want all of that to help you? You know what I'm saying? To fight this. So if you're like, I'm really your protector, why would you not want that? Now, if you knew there were side effects that could include like, oh, this is going to give me roid rage or whatever. Yes. Now that's it. But for them, for them, they're like, I just want to be better. And first of all, a couple things. I'm going to go to the comments. One is Mike said, dang, I wish I could really talk about the comments. Why? There's enough in here to answer it, and you don't need the comments. Y'all stop relying on the comments. I'm a swatch eye every time. Prophecy on Twitch said ideals are maintained through empathy. Superpowers will dull the empathy, though, in my opinion, but we don't know. James Petty on Facebook says, wanting to get stronger in and of itself is not wrong. It is your purpose for your strength that truly determines your value. That's what I'm saying. I feel like they're talking about like, oh, if you want the super serum, you're terrible. But I don't think that that's real. I think pursuing it is. But I think that you can understand that you have the skills available and want to take it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can want to be Captain America because I'm like, I am literally the best for America. And I know that not objectively so. And John Walker did not objectively think he should be Captain America. He embraced it because it was assigned to him. And because he's been trained since he was 18 to embrace those assignments, he is like, okay, I am Captain America. And then through that, his insecurity was played on the entire time. But I don't think quite yet that he is, the villain that we're painting him out. I really think he's misunderstood. Back to the comments, though. This is like a soldier not wanting a bulletproof vest. Michael, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Michael on YouTube. Exactly. Like why would you not want a super soldier when there are aliens? Why would you not want the serum? If you're like, I want to protect the world, why would you not want that? Because in any other case, perhaps you may get in the way, right? You may be the reason why, because you don't have the power. You may get in the way. It's a double-sided coin. I agree. So Prophecy on Twitch says things become absolute when you have superpowers. For example, the way Falcon approaches the rebel leader and the way Captain America does. That's true. Like, things are way more high stakes when you have superpowers. And I always like to use, y'all, if you've ever seen Cobra Kai on Netflix, incredible show. It's a really fun watch. Things are so much more high stakes when you can fight, right? In Cobra Kai. So this nice part in the valley in Cobra Kai becomes so dangerous because everybody know karate. And it's the same thing. Every interaction is different when you have more power. So I don't think wanting that power makes you bad, but it's like, what do you do? It's your character. Toy Lopez on Facebook says, you feel like it depends on your character. John Walker is no Steve Rogers and vice versa. I feel like it's easy to corrupt you, and it's up to the person on what path they take. And Steve Rogers wasn't perfect or all good either. He came from a different era, and his morality is far more different than John. Yes, agreed. And that's the thing. Steve Rogers got to live in this bubble. Steve Rogers, for all intents and purposes, never really got to live in his own world. He lived with his mom, and then he got to live in a Hydra facility for the rest of his life. You get what I'm saying? Versus John Walker lived in the South with his black wife. His experiences are going to be different. You know what I mean? James Petty said, alternatively, question for me, am I wrong to refuse this serum despite knowing all the powerful opponents you could face? I don't think that you're wrong. Of course, you have your reasons, but I think you're dumb. Unless you got something like Falcon, because Falcon be holding his own, but there are limitations there. I think if you say, no, I'm not taking the serum, I think you're wrong if you take things beyond your reach. But I think, staying in your lane and stuff like that, if you don't take the serum, I don't think that you're wrong. And Martin on Facebook said, people who take the super serum are selfish, but if it's bestowed upon the person who gives it to you, sees you as selfless. And that's one of the qualities that makes you a true hero. Martin, I don't believe that. Because, you know, we always say Batman is a true hero, but Batman just takes it upon himself to do whatever. You know what I mean? There are plenty of heroes who want the power so that they can change the world. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put this in real life. If someone said, Frankie, I will give you a serum today to temporarily turn you into a white man for 3 years, a powerful white man that could really change the world, legislation, whatever. Joe Biden, they'd be like, I could turn you into Joe Biden tomorrow. You could flip over things, start signing executive orders. I'd be like, yeah, I'd take it. I mean, I'd hate being a 80 wrinkled man. You know what I'm saying? But as a hero, I'd be like, yo, let me do that. Okay? Now, James Petty is asking a bigger question. Who's the right to bestow it on me? I don't know, y'all. Then that's the question. I don't know. God, I guess. A group of people talk and see what's the betterment. And that's something that's a real question. Like, what is best for the people? Like, what is best for the people? Who speaks for the people? Because there's so many people that even when you pull people from different perspectives, even if you have a diverse group, right? Let's say I got a group of 500 people in the room and we're all going to vote on legislation and blah, blah, blah. This 500 people are still not going to reflect the 8 billion people in the world. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I hate, that we make these huge absolutes. I want to do stuff, except for I'm going to blow up the world. I need to stop that. I feel like no one can say what the world needs, because the world needs something different. I'm going to talk more about Isaiah later, but I was talking to someone and they were like, yeah, you know, Bucky should have asked the Wakandans to take Isaiah to Wakanda so he could live a better life. And I was like, who said Isaiah's life is now not good? He has a family. He was gardening when we saw him. Just because he's poor, we think he's having a terrible life. No one's pursuing him. He wasn't looking over his shoulder. I mean, he was like, I don't want to be exposed, but he seemed fine. He seemed content. And I feel like in our head, we like, he not balling, he not doing this, so he's not living a good life. But I was like, Isaiah don't want to be bothered. Why do they keep on bothering Isaiah about being Captain America? He didn't want to be Captain America. He doesn't want to be a hero. And truth be told, even the Isaiah in the comics, I don't want to mention it, he's not truly Captain America. He dons the suit as a FU, right? He dons it as a like, I'm a since y'all got me out here like this, I'ma do this. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing. Everybody's like, we want to represent America, and sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's, I want to say me and mine. I want to save Black America. I want to save my people. And America happens to be part of that deal. And even when Isaiah is talking about why he fought Bucky and all of the missions he went on, he was talking about his people, his brothers. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about, y'all. It's, you have to realize your values, there's no all-encompassing values. And what we want and what we think is right is not the same. But either way, I had to go on that aside real quick. Now, Toy Lopez asked a question, which I think is pretty funny. Not funny, but like, I think it's interesting. Could it be the same thing as people who are like anti-vaxxers? There's something out there that can protect you from viruses and diseases, but they still deny it for a lot of valid reasons. Like Falcon choosing not to take a serum because he found the side effects or super strength outweighed the good things that comes with the serum. Or am I missing something? You know, someone put that in my comments. I forgot what I was talking about. And they were like, yeah, it's like anti-vaxxers. There's a difference, right? Anti-vaxxers are, yeah, there are side effects, but you're putting people at risk of death, right? You're risking other people dying because you're uncomfortable, right? So you're actually being selfish typically when you're an anti-vaxxer, right? Because you read a study, and I get it. Like, you don't want to be that person that happens. But like, also, do you want your kid to have polio? You know, people who are like, I don't want this People will take scissor and smoke weed and order food at a restaurant where the kitchen is hidden, and they'd be like, I'm not taking this vaccine because I don't know what's in it. Or they'll take medicines and stuff like that and know the side effects, but you get what I'm saying? So I think that's very different. And this is not a conversation on vaccines, but I do think that's very, very different. But I do want to kind of move back to John Walker because, you know, I'm sorry, I got on the huge side as soon as I brought up Isaiah because there's so much to unpack there. But y'all, they did this man dirty. I'm so glad I found this shot of him. Like, what, y'all? Y'all, I just thought this was hilarious. First of all, this was the most unrealistic, not the super soldiers. This is the most unrealistic thing about America. Yes, America would immediately tell him to step down and he would get canceled from that video. I agree. There's no way they're other than honorably discharging this white man. Like, the stuff that they did to him, I was like, first of all, y'all, the army, the military is tight knit. That's the whole premise of A Few Good Men. Nobody protects the military more than the military, okay? It's like we see the cops shoot a black man, right? And they get off scot-free. They get death duty. There's no way he would fall from grace on this level. There's no way America's letting this white man fall down like that. I'm sorry, especially when they endorsed him so heavily, because honestly, it makes him look dumb. It makes America look dumb I know it's part of the story and that's why they're doing it, but honestly, I feel like America, I'd be like, yo, this makes us look weak. I feel like America truly would have been like, yo, y'all weren't there. This was a hazard of war. This is taking out of context. They would have did all of that, but he's not in the right mind. He just suffered a loss. We're going to tell him to step down honorably. Okay? So, yes, I'm not saying that they wouldn't have him step down, but I think that, Captain Pennsylvania said they would do it because it's public. What? Y'all, Carlos was Latino. No, they would not. Okay? Because we watch public shootings all the time. Okay, we watch cops shoot kids with their hands up. We watch cops kill people for no reason. Okay, and they don't get fired. And these are cops. You think a decorated? You saw how many medals was on that man, and y'all thought? Y'all don't be like this. Don't be like this. I don't want to be the one to break it to y'all. I don't want to. No, I actually love being the one to break it to y'all. I'm not gonna lie. But James Petty on Facebook said, if you think about it, the truth of Captain America is just someone who wants to protect the ones they care about. Steve wasn't thinking about the ones about saving the world in the first Avenger. He was worried about Bucky. What? No, Steve wanted to join the military. Y'all, then this is what I'm talking about. Steve got y'all thinking he was this idealistic man, and he's not. Steve he wanted to be in the army. He wanted to save the world. It was more than just Bucky, y'all. It really was. Sean Grant said others a step above dishonorable discharge. Yes, and that's what I'm saying. They would not have done that, because y'all, I don't know if you know this, but being dishonorable discharged is almost as bad as going to jail in terms of on your record, like getting a job and stuff like that after being dishonorably discharged. And to be honest, other than honorable discharge is pretty bad. And I couldn't believe they did it. Even Philmo Parkers on YouTube said Captain America would never admit they did something dirty in a foreign land, cameras or not. That's what I'm saying. They would have called it Photoshop, whatever. But there's no way, y'all. There's no way that the military would punish him. And y'all talking about politicians, y'all. And I know we're not exposed to the military like it is, but y'all don't know how strong the military is. Politicians cannot tell the military jack nothing. Okay? It don't matter. It do not matter. Okay? That is literally, and when you guys leave here, if you have time, watch A Few Good Men. It's a movie from the 90s with Demi Moore and Tom Cruise. Dang, I forgot who else is in it. Oh, Jack Nicholson. If you ever heard, you can't handle the truth. they would have swept it under the rug. Thank you, James Petty. And he would have been nice and cushy, okay? And even still, the funny thing is, when I saw he got other than honorably discharged, I instantly thought, well, he's American, so what probably would have happened, he would have got a book deal or started a podcast, and he probably would have made more money than he ever did in the military because of it. But, you know, that's just my 2 cents. All right. James said his only crime was getting caught in public. We send assassins out all the time. That's a fact, James. To be honest, if he was in film, it would have been business as usual. I think that Falcon and the Winter Soldier would have still took his shield, but I don't think he would have lost his station. I think the narrative would have changed that they were criminals for taking the shield if he did that, and then they're like, we gotta take that. But because he did it in public, they're like, yeah, you can't be Captain America anymore. I gotta talk about Miss Hydra herself. First of all, if you don't know who, I gotta give her flowers. She is one of my favorite actresses and the funniest women I've ever known, and I don't actually know her, but I think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious that she's here. I cannot wait to see what her character is. I think we were supposed to be introduced to her in Black Widow, but since that has never been released, it's the first time we're seeing her. But I'm very interested to see how they're going to work together. Back to these comments, because y'all going ham. Lucifer Pitch Black said, if he killed a white man, maybe they do bogus, but if he killed a black man, they wouldn't have gotten off like any other cop or law enforcement. That's what I'm saying. Black Gay Comic Book said John Walker is going to be a Fox News correspondent. That's what I'm saying. He would have been okay. That's what I'm saying. It's only because he did it in public. So James said, what the hell does she work for? James, so she works for Hydra. She works for Hydra. Oh, you know what, though? I got to take my own advice. I don't know if she going to be Madam Hydra. We don't know that. I only say that because, Marvel been trolling us forever. I could never say who's who, but I can say she's Madam Hydra, and perhaps I do know she's villainous. That's why they gave her that purple hair. And I'm very excited to see where that's going. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to take a moment, y'all. I really did. I wanted to take a moment and let you guys know that I told y'all so. I felt so good. Okay. I told y'all so. I told y'all the last time I talked about I think it was episode 3. We were talking about Bucky and White Wolf, and I was like, he definitely got that chocolate in Wakanda. Okay, he definitely got that chocolate in Wakanda, and we saw it here because he was flirting crazy with Sarah, because once you go black, you never go black. He got some of that chocolate, and he's like, yo, what's up, Sarah? And I've been told y'all Bucky was in the cheek, but he better watch out, because Sarah will ruin your life. Okay, let me tell you something as a black woman. Whenever you see Fupa, know that your life will be ruined if you hit this. Okay, and she gonna change your life. Okay, she gonna change your life. Now Bucky probably relates with black women more, right? Because they know the struggle. But I just thought that was very interesting. That they were flirting, and Sarah wasn't even paying him no mind, because Sarah knew she'd ruined this man's life. Sarah knew it. She like, all right, y'all, go ahead, go on. But I just thought it was hilarious. Because I've been saying this. He was up in, I'm gonna call her Ayo instead of Ayo. He was up in Ayo guts, in Wakanda, and he's like, let me just keep this thing going. Let me see what Louisiana got. Give me some etouffee when we done. It's funny, he was pretending to sleep, and her sons were like playing with the shield, and he was like, hey. I instantly thought he contemplated that night when he was sleeping, waking up and like asking her to give him some milk or something slick. But I just wanted to put that in. I just thought it was a funny thing that they put in there, and I think it was them kind of saying like, yo, Falcon really was embedded in Wakanda. Like, he was part of Wakanda. He probably was with Ayo, and that's why he said that. Mephisto said, who's Sarah? Sarah is his sister. But I just thought this was such a cute thing that they put in, and I like being affirmed, so had to throw that in there, y'all. Now, let's talk about... Oh, man. Oh, okay. You're right. Black Gay Comic Cook said, Ayo is a lesbian in the comics. If they change her sexuality in the MCU, that'd be huge backlash. It doesn't have to be Ayo, though, right? He could be somebody... anyone in Adora, okay? God knows who was in that tent. We don't know, okay? So that's fine. But it could also be that he had a huge crush, right, on Ayo, and she wasn't attainable. And it could be that's why he's like, I gotta give me one of them, yo, as soon as possible, please. Not knowing what he's gonna get in. So just Ozzy on Twitch is asking, what's Falcon's family ethnicity? They are in Louisiana. And it's funny, as soon as he took the shield back, right, and tried to give it Isaiah, we were like, so what is he going to do with the shield now? I was like, he about to go cook crawfish for the next of this episode, was immediately what I thought. And that's exactly what he's doing. Anthony Mackie himself is actually from Louisiana, so I'm sure that played in well, and that's why he looks so comfortable there. But I honestly was like very interested to see, because I was like, he gave up his wings, which he learned that's how he was fighting, right? And now he gonna fight with the shield. So that's essentially someone who knows how to fight with a sword, just automatically just picking up nunchucks, never fought with nunchucks, and was like, I'm just gonna fight with this nunchuck now. You know what I mean? It's a totally different fighting style, and I'm glad they showed that he's been practicing over time. I also want to give a shout out to both Anthony Mackie and Wyatt Russell again, because they've been busting their butts to get in shape for this. And I've never been attracted to Anthony Mackie. I don't think that he's ugly. I just don't find him attractive. And this is the first time during his workout sequence that I was like, all right. So kudos to him there. But I really like seeing the closure there. I really like seeing that they're finally becoming friends, or at least admitting that they're friends. And I really want to ask you guys, what do you guys think's in that box? Come on, y'all gotta ask me. I think there's wings. I think it's wings in the box, one, or it's wings and his old one. But either way, I think it was wings in there. Because, like, what else would it be? I guess it could also be, what's his little bird name? Red Wing. It could be Red Wing, but it could be both. But either way, I think it's great because they knew that this way it's not government property. He doesn't have to be tied to the government anymore. And then it changes, right? Captain America is a government symbol, right? From the beginning, Captain America, and I'm talking about in the MCU, was created by the government. And I mean both, but he's created by the government. He's a government asset. And by getting these wings from Wakanda and having this as a gift, because they said, yo, this is a moral high gray area, I think that frees him for it. Oh, Black Gay Comic Geek, thanks Mike. He said it's his Captain America outfit. I think that too. It could be both though, right? It could be his, because this is a big box. It could be his outfit as well. And it could be, I'm symbolizing the America I want to see, not the America that is. And I think that's so interesting, y'all, to see, like, yo, like, and that goes back to the question, does a self-respecting black man, does he want to represent America? Does he? Because my question is, like, I get what you're saying. Why would we not want to represent our country? We live here. And yes, we haven't had the best of times, but, like, me becoming Captain America, a black man becoming Captain America would, show that we are diverse, would represent a part of a country and a history that's been lost, right? But you do have to give up self-respect to take that mantle, right? Obama had to give up self-respect to be the first black president. Did he not? Were they not saying that he was from Kenya while he was the president of the United States? His constituents was asking for his birth certificate, and he still decided to defend our country. And I think that that's an important thing. It's like if I decide to pledge my life, I get married to a man who talks to me crazy and beats me, right? Does that make me less of an amazing woman? No. Does that make me less of a person? No. But I have to give up my self-respect to do so, right? And I think that's what now. If he's the Falcon, but he's saying I'm American and I'm Black American, or I'm representing the America I want to see, that's different than being Captain America. And I think that's what's great. I hope it is a suit. I know we've seen some concept art of him with it. But I do think that I don't know. And someone was saying to me, like, yo, does a self-respecting black man join the military, blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, also, it's the same thing. You have to do it. And I just think that's very interesting. One more thing, because we have to go. And back at Comic Geek, thanks, man. I'm going to see you later. We're going to plug you in a bit. But I do want to say, Bucky finally gives up Zemo. So happy he did, and got that closure. He got to see that he's not the violence. He's free from the thoughts of I am the Winter Soldier. He knows that he's not it. And I thought that was a beautiful thing. And yo, let's talk about that mid-credit scene. I wish I had a switchboard so I could like echo myself like for all nerds do, because I love them. But yeah, so we see John Walker making a shield that inevitably would break because he made it out of steel. But I wonder what he's going to become. I think he's going to become Super Patriot. But does that make him a bad guy because he still wants to rep? Yo, he gave his life to this country. His life, and he gave up so much, his best friend for this country. And I would be the same. I'm like, y'all think I'm not Captain America. Y'all got me effed up. And the thing was, this episode took a break where people were like living their lives, and I was like, y'all forget these terrorists are out here? So I feel like John did not forget the mission. MC Brooks thinks he's going to become U.S. agent. We going to see. Is he going to become U.S. agent, or is he going to become Super Patriot? We don't know. Is it listed? I got to check the IMDb. If he's listed as U.S. agents, then okay. But we don't know which one he going to be. And that's the thing, y'all. We don't know which one he gonna be. Is he gonna be U.S. agent? Unless it is listed as U.S. agent, James. If it is, okay, y'all, he U.S. agent. So then maybe he won't. But I'm very interested to see where this is gonna go. Y'all, this is one of the best episodes, the best series that I've seen. Marvel is doing the damn thing, and I'm so happy. Yo, I feel so spoiled. I'm so excited to see the show. It's so entertaining. It really does feel like I'm watching a bunch of movies, but they're also like full episodes. I didn't even get into like what Sharon Carter's doing behind the scenes, because she's definitely doing more than selling stolen art. But yeah, I mean, we're winding down here, y'all. We almost done here. I just wanted to take the time to say thank you guys for talking to me today. This has been amazing. Next episode is the finale, and I can't wait to see where this is gonna go. What I'm going to do is next episode, I'm actually going to do a joint episode with Black Gay Comic Geek, Grandmaster FAQs, and You Don't Read Comics. So we'll still be on all these platforms. So if you follow me, definitely follow them. But don't worry, the Fighting World is still going to be here, and I'll definitely drop an episode after that. But definitely check me out. If you're not following me, welcome. Definitely join, my friends. We gonna have a great time here. My name is Fantastic Frankie on all platforms. You can find me there, the Fanboy Fighter. And Frankie is spelled Frankey. If you feel like you're a fanboy fighter, you want to cop the drip, I got that for you too. It's wild, affordable, and is drippy, y'all. Yo, I'm gonna check this out. Check out The Last Empire. I'm gonna check it out. But yeah, y'all, if you guys have time, check my page out. I do reviews on more than this. I do comics, anime. We got one more episode of this. I'm super sad about it, but I'm excited to see where we're gonna go. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in here. And until next time,